And welcome back to another edition of Life Outdoors here in the Wavy Plus Studios. I am your host, Chris Reckling. Life Outdoors, if you haven't seen us before, it's a show about anything happening outdoors here around Hampton Roads. It can be anything outdoor related. It can be sport, it can be gardening, it can be a hobby, it can be fishing or hunting or boating or biking or you name it. If it's Life Outdoors, we're going to talk about it. Today, we're going to go in a little different direction since it is now spring and we're heading into the summer months. We're going to talk a little bit about gardening and landscaping. So if you have a garden at home, if you have your landscaping and maybe some projects around the house, maybe we'll give you some inspiration. We'll give you a few ideas. And when I thought about landscaping and life outdoors and somebody who loves nature, I thought of a very good friend of mine. His name is Gary Paschang. Gary and I have known each other for a very long time. And I'm bringing Gary in today because Gary is a master landscaper, somebody who's been in the business for a very long time and really knows his way around dirt. Gary, it's good to see you.
Nice seeing you, Chris.
Tell everybody about yourself. You're local. Tell us about how you got started in landscaping and just about yourself in general.
Well, my mom and dad, they were gardeners, avid gardeners. I was always out in the woods, always digging holes. I used to cut down trees, but now I don't cut down trees. But it's been in my blood. Third generation farmer, but I didn't farm. My great-grandparents were farm. They used to actually own land over on the Eastern Shore. Owned about 1,000 acres over there. So it's in my DNA, it's in my blood. And I enjoy being around the plants because the plants never insult you. They never talk about you. All they do is reward you.
You ever had poison ivy?
Oh, that was my worst allergy.
So, I mean, you say they don't insult you or they don't mess with you, but poison ivy, poison sumac, poison oak, all that poison stuff.
Yeah, well, you know the rule of poison ivy and all the other vines, right?
The rule? Yeah, just don't touch it and you'll be fine.
No, that's close. But what it is
What is it, Gary?
Anything with 5 leaves on a vine is non-poisonous. Anything less than 5 is poisonous. If you look at the poison ivy, it has 3 leaves. Poison oak, poison sumac, the poison ivy over millions of years look like Virginia creeper.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like Virginia creeper, and that's done millions of years ago. But yeah, there's 3 signs that you can actually look for. If it's got 5 hands, be friendly, shake it. That's how you should teach school.
Yeah. Well, what about sassafras? I mean, that's a 3-leaf.
Sassafras is a tree. Vines.
You're
testing me.
I'm testing you, man. I am certainly testing you. Okay, so you've been in landscaping your whole life. You had Fine Gardens and Landscaping by Gary Paschang. 50 years. You've done every job from small to large to big. You liked working with the public. You liked working with the plants. You liked working with the dirt. What kind of career was that like for you?
It was a very rewarding career, and just a lot of people wouldn't believe me, but if you look at my fingernails, I still have the dirt. So,
well, you need to wash your hands, Gary.
Okay. No, to get back to what we're talking about, I like to joke a lot. So
I know that.
To get back, landscaping to me was just being outside. I always wanted to be outside. I'm not an inside guy. I mean, I surfed, I skateboarded, and I hung around my friends, but I felt more relaxed at home in the woods than sitting on a beach, even though I like the beach.
Yeah.
When you hear nature, it's natural nature. It's not on a recorder or a CD or a LP. It's natural. When you smell it, it's also natural. You can't get none of that stuff when you're sitting in your house. And just the different vibrant colors of trees and plants. I don't hurt anything. I don't know if you heard, but I had a bumblebee fly in my ear about a week ago. Went right in my ear. It was.
Did you pluck it out and give it a kiss and send it on its way?
I did.
I know you did.
I got pictures of it. I'll have to send them to you.
All right, listen. So you mentioned fragrance and what we're seeing right now. We've got some great footage of what you can see around town. These are spring colors from you, and we talked about this the last time for viburnum.
Yep.
And azaleas, and you name it. Tulips. We're heading into that season where the cold weather plants are starting to give way to the summer plants, which is really exciting, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how would you describe this time of year for you and for everybody around Hampton Roads?
Well, this is transitional. In other words, you come out of a winter, and all you see is bark, dead grass, and dead trees. No
You
leaves.
say dead.
Well, not dead.
I love the structure of trees in the wintertime.
Exactly. You know what? That's Mother Nature speaking to you.
Well, I mean, a lot of people don't see it like that. You know, I mean, many people do
Yeah.
appreciate what Mother Nature serves to us all year round. I've always said that I have a love-hate relationship with trees. Love trees, but hate them when they're dropping stuff. I mean, they drop everything. They drop sap, they drop gumballs, they drop, you name it. There's pollen. There's so much that come from it. And like, that's where I'm like, that's when I get really upset at trees. But then again, I love them.
But Chris, do you know why they do that?
Why do they do that, Gary?
Because they're telling you that they're there.
Okay.
If you just walk past a tree one day and bumped into it, but they start dropping stuff, you'll notice that tree and go, oh, there's a tree over there. How do you know? Because it dropped a bunch of stuff I stepped on. So yeah, trees have good and bad things like that.
Do you believe that trees have feelings and they communicate?
100%. I mean, it's already documented with mycelium. Mycelium is the largest organism in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Trees can be 2 miles away, and if something happens, a bug gets on a tree or something happens, they send signals to the mycelium, and it goes to the tree, and that tree will send up a certain sap,
Yeah.
a certain odor. But it's Mother Nature at its best. I mean, I wish I could sit out there and be a cricket or something and just kind of hang out.
There's a lot that we don't know about trees, and that scientists are still today finding out, and they're doing so many things, like just to say, like the Venus flytrap. You know, how does it know to close the trap and to consume the insect that's inside it? You know, the trees they are speaking to other trees. If one has a disease or is attacked by an insect, you know, they start putting up defenses. I mean, it's really, you know, there's a lot that we don't know about trees because they were the first things on our planet. You know, the plants led to the animals that led to us.
Everything has a mechanism in plant world, trees, shrubs, and there's certain things that set it off. I bet a lot of people don't know that trees are actually the color when they turn to fall all year long. What turns them green is the chlorophyll. So if you drained all the chlorophyll out, that's what the tree would look like 24/7. Because chlorophyll is what makes the tree and helps it grow. So a tree that turns yellow, that's the actual color of the tree is yellow.
Yeah. Which do you prefer, spring or fall?
Both.
Trees.
Oh, trees? Both.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's not the right. I asked you a yes or no.
Okay. Maybe.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so listen, so we're having a little bit of fun with Gary Paschang, and he has done so much more than landscaping. He also volunteers his time around the country to farmers in need. It's all about, he calls himself the Farm Whisperer. We're going to get into that in the next segment here on Life Outdoors. So stick around, everybody. You're watching Life Outdoors. And welcome back to Life Outdoors, where we discuss all things nature around Hampton Roads, all the natural resources. And if it's happening outdoors, you can find it here on Life Outdoors. We are joined by Gary Paschang, master landscaper. And as you can see right there, it says Farm Whisperer. How'd you get that title or that nickname, Gary?
Well, it's a nickname that the farmers gave me. Over 7 years volunteering, I would go in and go out and go in and go out, and I never really paid attention to anybody that would watch me because I went there for a reason, was to help the farmer. So one farm in Tennessee, she says, "You're like a farm whisperer. You show up and then you disappear. You show." So that was 6, 7 years ago, and that's what they call me, the farm whisperer. And I talk to the farm animals, and I teach them how to pastoral. I'll train them like cats and dogs. I got chickens that will follow me, goats. Got all kinds of stuff that will follow me. All I need is a little pipe, and I can be, was it Peter Piper?
So let's talk more about that. So you have volunteered your services around the country in so many ways. How did that come about, and how is that impossible? How is that possible that you can volunteer for farmers in need?
Well, in 2017, I was sitting on the couch and I was watching a TV show about farmers, and they'd said 500 had filed bankruptcy that year, Chapter 12. And I looked at the TV and I looked at my house and everything that I had, and I said, how can I help these farmers? I mean, I've got everything I want. So that day, within minutes, I called my family and my friends and said, hey, I'm liquidating everything I own, and I'm going to go help farmers. So I joined a couple of organizations, Farm Army, Australia, Wolfer USA, Wolfer International, and I just got into it, and it's like I was reborn. You know?
So when you volunteer, you almost get more out of it than the person you're volunteering for. When you were helping these farmers out, what have you found collectively that farmers are going through right now?
Well, Chris, it's a tough and scary situation because the small farmers is the people that we try to help. The small farmers are suffering from big farmers price them out of the market. So what they do is they want to convert back into their home area. So that's what I do. I help them get back into the home area and say, don't try to sell 10 miles, 100 miles, 50 miles. And so I got one farmer in South Carolina, he's selling so much locally than he was when he was bigger farmers selling nationally. So I help them incorporate that. I teach them about sustainable living. I also teach them about permaculture, which is very important with the topsoils and stuff. I can teach them horticulture. I'm an agronomist, self-taught agronomist. So I think I'm pretty well rounded. And the farmers they understand, but they don't have the help. They understand, hey, Gary, I could do this, but I have nobody with your skills. And that's what it's all about. It's just giving back. You know, I've been very successful, and I'm very happy to give back.
Yeah, and what makes it so special is the fact that you are multi-talented. You're a carpenter. You're an artist. And speaking of art, you've been doing a lot of artwork lately. Hold up that one picture there. Okay, so this is just something that you've just started. You're retired. You're still helping out. What are you getting out of that right there? I mean, you're just starting this, and you're just kind of having fun and doing artwork about nature.
Yeah, well, Chris is pretty crazy. I had a life-changing experience in December, and I wanted to get off social media, and I wanted to help. I help people by volunteering. That's worth more than all the money in the world. But I wanted to do something that enlightened me, enlightened people around me. So after that experience I had in December, I just walked away from social media, and I just looked at a rock and said, that looks like a cake. So I picked the rock up and painted it like a cake. And when Erin came home, she said, oh, dessert. She thought it was a real cake.
Come on.
I'm serious.
You should let her take a bite out of it.
Well, my grandkids try to all the time.
That's awesome.
I call it the diet dessert thing because if you try to bite one, you'll break your teeth and you'll never get back to eating it.
So, and I see a lot of your artwork is nature inspired.
Yes, 100%.
I mean, because that's what you know best is your love for nature and everything nature. Yep. That one there you did for me. Thank you very much. And I love that there's a bonsai tree in there and a little something about Gary and myself. We've known each other for a very, very long time. I've worked for Gary for a little bit, and we have over the years giving each other multiple trees. We're kind of like tree buddies, right?
Yeah.
I give you a tree, you give me a tree. I give you a tree, you give me a tree. It's back and forth. How's that little Makawa doing right now?
It's actually doing great.
Is it?
It's doubled in size.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear that because that's an amazing tree.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty cool. I've never had one. I mean, I've had hundreds of Japanese maples. That's my first one. So I appreciate that. That was very kind of it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You got married. I thought it was the perfect gift. And you also gave me one tree at my house that I planted. We call it the Gary tree. It was an October Glory maple.
Yep.
And it started out maybe 8 foot, and now it's probably 28 foot. Yeah. And it's massive. And when it's in October in all its glory, we think about Gary.
Yep. I appreciate it. And the trees like it because if you take care of them, they'll take care of you with a show of leaves and a show of flowers. Yeah. That's what Mother Nature does. You abuse them, they're going to die on you. They're going to look crappy.
Yeah.
You want it to be happy, you just take care of it.
Well, we call them legacy trees,
Yep.
You pass them along. They go from person to person, and they'll outlive you if you treat them right.
Yeah. Well, how are you going to dig it up, though? That's a pretty big tree
that
to
one's
dig
staying. That one's staying.
Okay.
Or unless you want to try to bonsai. Okay. All right, so listen, so Gary is going to stick around for the next segment, and we're going to talk about things you can do right now around the landscape because we're transitioning into summertime and springtime is still here, so there's a lot of planting going on. And since we've got an expert in the field of landscaping, digging, dirting, lighting, a little bit of everything, we're going to chat about that in the next side of Life Outdoors. So stick around that, everybody. You're watching Life Outdoors. And welcome back to Life Outdoors here in the Wavy Plus studio. I'm your host, Chris Reckling, along with Gary Paschang, master landscaper, a jack of all trades, somebody who can do a little bit of everything. And first and foremost at the top of that list is nature lover. So what are you loving right now, Gary? I mean, if you like nature, we're in the spring, and if you don't see something you like, get a new hobby.
Exactly.
Birds, bees, trees, dirt, art. What's exciting you right now?
Well, what's nice about springtime is the first thing that lets you know, Mother Nature always takes care of you, Chris. And the first thing about springtime is the redbuds start blooming. She's saying, hey, I'm sending a signal now. Everything's okay. We had a pretty good winter. We're not going to have a bad drought. So she throws some blooms at you. And then all of a sudden you see the forsythia.
Stop right there. Let's get back to the redbud.
Oh.
Let's talk about the leaf.
Okay. The red.
The leaf is heart-shaped.
Oh, yes, correct.
I mean, think about that. It's heart-shaped.
Yes.
The redbud is heart-shaped, which that first sign of spring is coming from a tree that's shaped with a leaf that's the shape of a heart.
Yeah, you would be surprised.
Your heart in life and nature.
Yeah,
right?
You would be surprised of what nature gives us that nobody ever looks at anymore. They just walk past it. I mean, there are so many signs out there that can help you. Just walking, if you're having a bad day, you can walk in the woods. And it's not because the trees are sticking needles in you and say, oh, take this pill. No, they nurture you because you came from the earth. Your base came from nature.
Yeah. Okay. And so you got to forsythia. And right now, ligustrum are doing their thing.
Yes. There's so many types of ligustrum. The most popular one is the little leaf ligustrum, which everybody's using for hedgerow now. And things you want to look at too, since it's the spring, this doesn't excite me, but once you see the redbud blooming, then that tells you that the tent caterpillars are coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we used to do it. We used to watch that. And also, certain things will bloom, and they say if it blooms early and we have a frost, that's okay, because Mother Nature will go, hey, oh man, bad hair day. And all of a sudden, boom, she sends up new blooms.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's amazing when trees regenerate and you think you've lost them. Like, we all have these stories about what we've seen Mother Nature do. I go back to Hurricane Isabel. I had a big, beautiful, giant maple in my backyard, and it was spectacular. And Isabel, a tree came down and took off 2/3 of the tree, just cut it to like 2/3, boom, took it out. The tree was deformed, and I wasn't sure what to do. And today it looks like it never skipped a beat. It's, over time it regenerated and it looks amazing.
Yeah, it's
just great. It's crazy.
Yeah, regeneration, plants, they evolve just like we do. And a lot of people don't know this, but trees will actually go after other trees with the roots and try to circle them to kill them off so they don't get all the nutrients.
Is there a tree that you don't like? I mean, nobody really likes gumball trees.
Oh, I like gumball trees because they make gumball-less trees now, and they're gumball trees with no gumballs.
Yeah, but how beautiful! Even though gumballs, they're spectacular in the fall.
Oh, look at the leaves. Look at the
Multicolored. But what about sumacs? I just like saying it. I don't even know what it is.
Sumacs. It's a new Chinese food. It's called sumac.
Sumac.
No, sumac. Sumac is a poison sumac. There's different types of sumac. When you're going down the expressway and you see the white blooms with the kind of purplish leaf tint, that's sumac.
There's a redbud right there.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, so you see that's sumac. It's not poisonous because it's a tree form. The poisonous sumac is more like a vine or semi-shrub. 90% of the trees in the world are not poisonous by touch. 80% of the vines in the world are poisonous by touch. That's how crazy it is. And the reason they do that, Chris, is to keep you away from them.
Let's talk a little bit about, some of your landscape jobs. And we've mentioned before about how much work you did out in Smithfield. You worked for Joe Luter, and you've planted hundreds, if not thousands, of trees out there.
Yes, I did. Joe Luter was my main man for 3 years. In other words, I didn't take on any jobs. I did all his projects because he was a good man and he liked my good work.
What did he like? What kind of trees did he like?
He liked maple trees.
Maples and oaks?
Maples
Hardwoods?
And oaks. Yeah. Yeah, I think you actually came out there and helped me one time.
Yeah, we dug a couple holes together. Broke a couple shovels.
Well, no more because I got metal shovels.
That's right.
And I was going to bring one to the show so we could hang it on the back of your head over there on the wall.
Right.
But go ahead.
Why would you go there? I mean, I was young. I worked for Gary, and I broke one,
a day,
I broke a whole bunch of shovels because I was strong. Your shovels weren't good enough.
No, well, I hired the strongest kids and guys in my neighborhood because I knew that if they could dig a tree, they could pull it out. So that's why I hired the big guys. But I didn't know you were going to break a shovel. It's funny, that story I'll tell you real quick is I'm at the other end of the house and I hear this snap. I walk over there and you're standing there holding the shovel handle. I said, Chris, you got to chop the root before you try to dig the tree up. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
A couple hours later, snap. I go, Chris, you got to chop the root before you dig the tree. So yeah, so because of Chris, I went out, instead of a $10 shovel, I was buying $60 shovels. And I still have some of those shovels today, the metal
heavy.
shovels.
They're
Yeah.
really heavy.
They're
They're
very
fun
heavy.
to use. Okay, so got a couple more minutes left here in Life Outdoors. Right now, people are they're busy outside. What are some things that people should be trying to do? What to make your yard a little more eco-friendly and friendly? I mean, well, just how about this? A couple of things that you've always told me and things that stuck with me is, one, if you don't like your landscape, if you don't like what you have in the front of your yard, sometimes it outgrows, change it.
Yes.
Some people are like, what do I do? What do I do? Just take it out and go start with something else,
Exactly.
right, Gary?
Yeah. Well, what I do is I tell people if they're going to design a good landscape in the house, I used to have a thing that I would take them in the street in front of the house. I'd say, put your hands like this and make your house look like a postcard. And they go, wow, I get it. And that's how I do it. I put my hands like this. All I see is a house. And when I'm finished designing, I want to make it look like a postcard.
Yeah.
And I'd say, drive through the neighborhoods, which die and don't plant, which live and you plant. You can buy plants from all over the world, but that don't mean they're going to grow here.
Yeah, it's important to support native plants
Yes,
for sure.
100%.
Another tip that you gave me too, if you're pruning or doing any changes to trees or shrubs or bushes around, Gary said, if it pokes you in the eye, if it can kick you in the eye, take it down. Like, don't have something that can, trees,
Yes,
you
sir.
get in their space, they might poke you.
It's called pleaching. Pleaching, P-L-E-A-C-H-I-N-G. It started over in England.
Okay.
And they would pleach all the trees up because they wear the big hairdos, and the wind would be knocking the hairdos off.
Right, bleaching.
So pleaching, so they raise them up to 6 foot, so that's what it's called, pleaching.
Any other little do's and don'ts real quickly before we end this segment of Life Outdoors?
Yes, plants will tell you if they're water or if they're dry. If they wilt, they need water. If they turn black and then die, too much water. And that's simple with all plants. You can overwater, the plant will tell you.
Yeah, and don't plant too low, especially trees
Yes.
and shrubs. Don't plant too low. It's
Especially-
best to plant too high.
Yeah, especially in this area. We have clay-bound soil. We have 3 different levels of clay. The last level of clay is what the Indians make pottery out of, and that's what your roots are going into. So you have to amend the soils also if you're going to be planting around.
I'm glad that macaw was doing well.
It's doing great, and it's
Yeah.
going to be a bonsai in about 20 years.
Yeah. Well, it's a bonsai now.
You double bonsai.
A double, triple, quadruple bonsai. I can't thank you enough for joining us here on Life Outdoors and just our friendship throughout the years. And look, there's one right there, Orange Dream. You guys, if you're having a bad day and you want to get a little bit of fresh air, just step outside and take in the sights. You get the last word. What do you want people to know out there
Well,
about
just-
nature? Just get out and enjoy it.
Well, just get out and enjoy it. Put down the cell phones. Get off the computer. I mean, I go to so many parks and I see all the kids looking down like this, and when they get home, they go, "Where'd we go?" They don't see it. But yeah, just put down the cell phones, put down the computers, and go out in nature. Nature will take care of you if you take care of nature.
We'll leave it at that. Gary Paschang, everybody. Gary, say goodbye, Gary.
Goodbye, Gary.
Goodbye, Gary, and thank you guys for joining us here on Life Outdoors. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you every Friday for a new edition of Life Outdoors.